Hard work is a scam, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why, right? Hard work is something that is marketed to as like it's the only thing. And when you understand how like the journey that it takes to really like make something manifest, you start to really understand that it's really layers and levels to this thing, and it's like a puzzle, right? So if I'm walking around thinking the only thing I need to do is work hard, then I'm going to be very frustrated as a person, an individual, entrepreneur, somebody trying to accomplish my goals. So in this video, we're going to go all in on hard work. And so I want to talk about the other puzzle pieces and the other things to consider that actually are going to help you get to your success a lot faster, and things that you may not consider, you may consider, but it's just going to give you things in a big picture. So first things first, when I think about hard work, it's like, yeah, right, like you do have to work hard, but also hard work is closely correlated to like being at the bottom. Because a lot of times when you have to work hard, you don't have anything, you don't have any resources, you don't have any help. And so hard work is the only thing that you really have, right? Your attitude and things like that. But as you start to grow and ascend in life and in the journey, then you start kind of thinking different. And so if you are making good money and you're still just working hard, you're actually hustling backwards, right? So the first thing that I want you to think about is you have to create like a structure for your life in certain categories. So hard work, yes, but what if you created a structured way of approaching something that helps you with your consistency, for example, right? So let's say when I remember when I had my podcast back in the day, I was putting out 4 episodes a week. But I wasn't working hard once I kind of got it off the ground, because I started to learn how to do things in a little bit of a better way. I started having people reaching out to me. So I wasn't working hard the whole time. I kind of had a system to create consistency. I knew what days I was going to be recording. I knew when I was going to be doing research and things like that. So create a system that guides you to your success in whatever way that is. Think about discipline. If you know you want to reach a certain place in your physical appearance, then you need to create a system that helps you be more disciplined. Is it not buying snacks, having them in the house? Because if they're more accessible to you, if they're more accessible to you, you're more than likely going to eat them, right? So you got to think about that. How can I create these different frameworks in my life so that it can help me accomplish my goal faster, or whatever that category is? Is it consistency? Is it discipline? Is it work ethic, right? Is it your productivity? What way can you structure a framework that you can follow? Because what I've learned is, as human beings, it's easier for somebody to be successful in an arena or in an area when they have a blueprint to follow. And that's why everybody goes and hires coaches and consultants and things, because when you have a framework, it's easier to follow that. But the hardest part about becoming successful from scratch is you don't have a blueprint and everything is unstructured. And so structure is a very, very powerful tool that you can use to get where you want to get to. So it's not hard work, right? Hard work will have you hustling. Having a structure will have you building something, because the way you build a house is in a very structured way, right? It's very methodical. Success is a methodical process. And when you don't know what you're building, you don't know how to build the thing. But when you have a structure, you can build one brick on top of the next brick, because you got that structure, you got that roadmap, you got that blueprint. So that's the first thing I want you to think about on top of working hard, is like the structure. Something else, right? The second thing is like your network can propel you. Your network can propel you. So how many times have you seen somebody that you like, man, they ain't really working hard, they ain't grinding, right? We got this infatuation where you got to be grinding. If they not grinding, I'm not respecting their success. But it's kind of like you playing yourself if you thinking that way, because you thinking from a perspective of like being at the bottom all the time. But not everybody in the world is at the bottom. And so think about your network. If you have something for sale, if look at people who go to college and they stay tight and they have a network and all of the friends are in higher places in their mid 30s. What can they do for their people? They can put people in position, right? You can just know the right person and come up in life. You can know the right person that has the right information and come up if they want to share that information with you. So when you are going through life, always be focused on building relationships with people. Value building relationships with people, because those relationships that you build with people can help you go faster in your life wherever you want to go. You never know who you're going to need one day, and you never know who you're going to be able to help one day. And that's why you always want to be good with people. That's why you always want to treat people good. You're not going to make every single person on the planet happy, but if you can treat people good and operate off principles and operate off of certain laws that are timeless, you will always have blessings coming your way. You will always have opportunities coming your way. So it's not about work hard, right? Sleep for 2 hours a day. Like, that's not real. But your network can propel you, and your network can be doing the hard work for you, right? Your structure that you created can be doing the hard work for you. So these are things I want you to think about in addition to working hard, because you can't work hard forever. When you're 20 years old, you have all the energy, you have no obligations in life for real. But as you start to, elevate in life, you start to accumulate certain obligations that you have to be there for. And so it starts to take away your time. So you got to start thinking different. So the next thing that I want you to really think about is, what are your financial resources? So if you start a company that sells, let's just say, hats, and Kanye West starts a company that sells hats, the same exact product, he's going to go further, faster, because he has financial resources. If I start a company right now, as opposed to when I was 22, I would have a completely different result because of the financial resources that I have access to now. And so if you have more financial resources, you kind of don't have to work as hard as somebody that don't have financial resources. And so you got to start assessing, what are my advantages and what are my disadvantages that I have right now? And then how can I, apply those things to my life and put me in a better position? And also remember, your disadvantages are your advantages as well. Your disadvantages are your advantages. So stop thinking that you're disadvantaged. If you go around walking through life thinking that you're disadvantaged and everybody has an edge on you, then how are you ever going to win? But if you be like, man, my disadvantage is my advantage, you don't even start to think that you have any disadvantages, because you're looking at it as an advantage, as an edge. I know that I have certain disadvantages, but at the end of the day, I'm going to always turn lemons into lemonade. And I'm going to put a little bit of sweetener in there, and it's going to be A1. Because I know that I am always the individual with the edge because of how I think and how I process information and how I'm looking at something. Because I be strategic with it. So you have to think about it like, what are the financial resources I have? If you have no financial resources, you're going to have to grind a lot harder. But that's why the rich get richer. That's why when people start to really get money, they start to get more money because they have more financial resources, right? And they could put money in certain places and the money can grow faster. So the beginning of anything is always the hardest. And that's why you don't want to be putting yourself in a situation where you're always starting over. Because if you're always starting over, you're always in a spirit of grinding and working hard, right? But when you start to ascend and grow, you're not working as hard. You have different skill sets that you're learning and that you're applying, and that's what's taking your life to the next level. That's what's taking your business to the next level. It's not about working hard. Working hard is a poor man's game, And because when you start to get money in the bank, you're not worried about working hard, right? And that brings me to, the next things is like, what's your knowledge base? If you don't have a knowledge base, if you're not as smart in a certain field, then you're going to have to rely on your hard work, because you're going to have to work hard to learn the information. And then when you learn that knowledge, you can apply that knowledge to whatever it is that you're doing. But what's your knowledge base? If you learn how to learn a new skill set, or go deeper in your skill set, go deeper in your craft, what does that do for you? What does that do for your life? It literally takes your life to the next level, because you got a knowledge base, right? I like to know a little bit about a lot of things based on life experiences, and then the things that I know I want to be doing in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, and the things that I want to be known for, I go deeper in those things. But it's about the knowledge base, and the knowledge base that you have is going to help you connect with certain people, and those certain people that you connect with is going to be a part of what? Your network. And if you build in a network of people that you have a lot of commonalities with, people are going to want to help you win. People are going to want to see you win and see you succeed. They're going to throw you bones. They're going to introduce you to people. They're going to connect you with people that you didn't even have to work for. Imagine getting paid for something off of a connection that you made 8 years ago, all because you were just a stand-up individual, all because people fuck with your energy and they've been seeing you on your journey. They've been seeing you working. They've been seeing you being consistent. What if, right? Imagine getting paid off of a relationship that you built 4 years ago. Imagine getting paid off of some knowledge that you learned 5 years ago. I'm still applying things right now to my life that I learned in 2010, that I learned in 2014, that I learned in 2016. Right? I'm getting paid for things that I learned years ago. And that's the power of knowledge. Right? It ain't about getting the money. It's about getting the knowledge, and the knowledge will turn into the money. That's what it's really about. It's not about, get money, get money, get money. If you're only looking to get money, you're never going to get anything. But if you're looking to get that knowledge and that wisdom, you always going to have everything. It's a mindset shift. So get the knowledge up. Get your knowledge base up. Learn new things. Go deeper in new things. Master a certain craft. Go deep on something. So nerd out on something. Because when you nerd out on it, you will have a certain understanding that very few people will have, and you'll end up becoming a master of it. And nobody will be able to play you in that arena. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Another thing, and this is how like high performers think and successful people think, but it's efficiency. How can I become more efficient as an individual? If you become more efficient, you'll be able to create greater results while doing less. And that's the name of the game in business. Look at business. If you go to any restaurant that you've been going to for years, and I'm talking about, let's say, a chain restaurant that a lot of people know. It ain't got to be fast food. It could be a fine dining. If you compare the quantity of food that you were receiving 10 years ago versus today, it's less today, but the price is more. Because companies are always trying to increase their profit margins. Make more by doing less. Make more by giving less. Make more by having less. Look at something as simple as like a bag of chips. You go to the store. If you get a bag of chips, the bag is going to have way more air, right, than what the actual amount of chips. That's called, they're trying to make more money by giving you less. And the product is already horrible as it is. But that was just an example, right? But it's about the mindset of efficiency. Efficiency, right? When you study Olympians, Olympian track stars, they're trying to shave off 0.2 seconds on their run time, 0.7 seconds, 0.05 seconds, because they're just trying to get efficient because they're doing the one thing. But if I can get better at what I'm doing right now, I am going to be more successful. Period. Increase your efficiency game. So ask yourself, in what way can I become more efficient? In what way can I become more efficient with my time? In what way can I become more efficient with how my day flows? In what way can I be more efficient with how I make money? In what way can I be more efficient with my whole life? How can I become more efficient? I remember watching an interview. It was talking about KD, Kevin Durant, and it's like, it's okay if I only make 11 shots, and if I make 11 out of 15, that's way better than me making 15 out of 35 on a percentage basis, right? Because you can make the same amount of points, but you give less effort, which means that you're actually more precise with what you're doing. It's about having a sniper's mentality, right? One of the greatest shooters, Klay Thompson, he can score a lot of points without dribbling the ball because he's that efficient on the court, right? I like sports. I like basketball. But we could look at the Toyota. Toyota is one of the most efficient companies in their warehouse. They got a book about how they structure everything in their warehouse. So it's like, how can I become more efficient as an individual? That's not about working hard. That's about thinking better, thinking smarter. That's why all these businesses is starting to pay people overseas, because that's increasing efficiencies from a profit margins perspective. Right? They're learning that they can do certain things overseas and they don't have to hire people in the US, and now you know their profit margins are going up. Now, is that the best thing for the economy? Not necessarily, but once again, this is an example. We ain't getting caught up in all that other stuff. How can I as an individual become more efficient? I want you to think about that and ask yourself that, write that down and put that down, put it on a piece of paper, and then map it out. How do I get more efficient? And the last thing that I'm going to share is, how well can you leverage things or put yourself in a leveraged position and also delegate? Do you think, if you go get a franchise right now, you should not be working in the franchise. You should be working on growing the franchise. So you should actually be working outside of it. This is what it means when they say work in your business, but not on your business. I mean, work on your business, but not in your business. So leverage. I want you to understand leverage, because people don't understand leverage, right? Leverage this is something I learned when I was in real estate. I would rather make 50% of $100 than 100% of $0. I'm going to say it again. I would rather make 50% of $100 rather than 100% of $0, right? Leverage. If I can make money off of very little effort, I'm in a leverage position. Or if I can build up my leverage and do something for a long enough time to the point where I build up leverage and I have options on what route I want to take, and they're all going to be successful, I'm winning. And also delegate. You don't have to do everything. You do not have to do everything. A lot of times that's that hustle mentality. That's that grinding mentality. I got to do everything. I'm grinding. I'm working hard. But when you take a step back and you zoom out and you look at yourself from outside of yourself and you're like, damn, how can I work less but still get the same result? That's when you start thinking on a different level. That's when you start thinking on a different level. That's when you start changing the game. That's when your life start changing. So in the beginning of anything, depending on where you at in your life, yeah, you may have to work hard, but you don't have to work hard forever. You just got to think smart. You just got to move different, right? LeBron did not get where he's at by only working hard. Kobe didn't get where he got by only working hard. They had a team around them. That's another thing we could talk about and you can understand is have a team around you. Who are the people around you that are supporting you? Right? Who is supporting your vision? Are you around some dogs that get it? That are very talented in certain specific levels and parts in their life and categories in their life? Or are you around some clowns? Are you around people that really don't have no value to offer? Are you hanging around people that just want to sit around and do nothing? Right? Who are you around? Do you have a team? Do you have assets around you? Or are you a liability and you're only around liabilities? Right? If you're watching this video, you're not a liability, because you are investing into your mentality. And that's then you can't put a price on that. But you got to build up your leverage. You got to build up your ability to know how to delegate. And you cannot delegate if you don't have trust, if you have trust issues. That's a real thing. If you got trust issues with people, you're not ever going to be able to delegate, because you're not going to trust somebody that you're delegating to. You're going to be over their shoulder. So you got to work on that within yourself, which is some trust issues. Right? But it's not about working hard. It's not about working hard. It's about being strategic. It's about knowing how to be self-sufficient. It's about knowing how to work on yourself. It's about knowing how to take criticism, constructive criticism. It's about knowing how to take actions and having faith and being faithful. Knowing what your vision is and focusing on your vision, right? That's why there's no one thing makes a person successful. Certain things might stand out to an individual, but no one thing makes any individual just massively successful. It don't work like that. And when you understand that on a deeper level, you start to really think different and move different. And don't feel guilty for working less and still making the same amount of money. Don't feel guilty for that. Because when you feeling guilty for that, you're going to revert back to your old habits. Because this is a habits game. Right? This is a habits game. When you build different habits, you're going to get different results. So when you go from you working hard, you start anything, you working hard, you're going to see a lot of results because you were just working hard. But you're going to reach a certain point where that hard work, it ain't getting you no more. And that's when you got to start thinking in terms of leverage and systems and things like that, and efficiency. Because when you do that, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it now. So it's not about working hard. You can't work yourself hard to 100 million. You're going to kill yourself. But you could systemize things. You could think different. You could get around the right people, better people. And as you continue to do that, that's when you're going to start seeing your life, 3x, 5x, 10x, 15x. So just keep these things in mind. Hard work is a scam. You ain't supposed to be working hard. You're supposed to be thinking different, thinking smarter, asking yourself, how can I get better? How can I get these same results without killing myself? And when you start to do that, you start to see a different type of life, right? So my name is Isiah Fowler, y'all. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be sure to share this with a friend. Like this video as well, because we all know that helps. But stop trying to work hard, right? You are not a slave, right? Like, stop trying to work hard. Zoom out of your life and put yourself in a position to see the bigger picture, and then work on that bigger picture. All right. So let me know in the comments what you really rock with in this video, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next video. Peace. Stay smooth.